Antiques Roadshow guest stunned by six-figure valuation of Van Cleef and Arpels ring, continued. The guest's eyes widened in disbelief as appraiser Caitlin Shinnick revealed the staggering valuation of her mother's Van Cleef and Arpels diamond ring. $80,000 to $120,000, she repeated, her voice trembling slightly. That's unbelievable. Caitlin smiled knowingly. Diamonds of this quality, especially from a house like Van Cleef and Arpels, only appreciate over time. The fact that this is an emerald-cut stone with such exceptional clarity makes it even more desirable to collectors. The guest, still processing the news, let out a nervous laugh. My mother always said this ring was special, but I had no idea it was this special. She wore it every single day, gardening, washing dishes, even swimming. I used to tell her she should be more careful with it. Caitlin chuckled. Well, platinum is an incredibly durable metal, and diamonds are the hardest natural substance on Earth. But you're right. It's a miracle it stayed in such pristine condition. She turned the ring over in her hands once more, admiring the way the light caught the facets. Do you ever wear it yourself? The guest hesitated. Not often. It's beautiful, but it feels heavy, you know? Not just the weight of the stone, but the history. My mother loved it so much, and now that she's gone, it's almost like a piece of her is still here. Caitlin nodded sympathetically. Sentimental value is priceless. But if you do decide to wear it, I'd recommend getting it professionally cleaned and inspected. After all these years, the prongs might need a little reinforcement to keep that diamond secure. The legacy of Van Cleef and Arpels. Caitlin then took a moment to educate both the guest and the audience about the significance of Van Cleef and Arpels in the world of high jewelry. Founded in 1896, Van Cleef and Arpels quickly became synonymous with elegance and innovation. They were pioneers in invisible settings and iconic designs like the Alhambra collection. A piece like this, from the early 1970s, represents a golden era for the brand, when bold, geometric designs were in vogue. She pointed to the two tapered baguette diamonds flanking the central stone. These side stones aren't just decorative, they enhance the symmetry and elongate the finger when worn. It's a classic design, but what really sets it apart is the provenance. The fact that it was purchased directly from Van Cleef and Arpels, with original paperwork, adds tremendous value. The guest interjected, you know, my stepfather, Denny, was quite the character. He had a taste for the finer things. My mother told me he walked into the Beverly Hills boutique, pointed at this ring, and said, "That one." No haggling, no second thoughts. Caitlin grinned. That's the kind of story auction houses love. It adds a layer of romance to the piece. Speaking of which, she leaned in slightly. Have you ever considered selling it? The guest's expression shifted. A mix of surprise and contemplation. I don't know. Part of me feels like I should keep it in the family, but another part wonders if it's just sitting in a safe, not being appreciated. The auction potential. Caitlin explained that if the guest ever did decide to sell, the ring could fetch even more than the estimated $120,000 at a high-profile auction. Jewelry from this period is highly sought after, especially with a name like Van Cleef and Arpels attached. And with the original receipt, that's a dream scenario for collectors. She added that celebrity-owned jewelry often sparks bidding wars, citing Elizabeth Taylor's collections and more recent sales of pieces worn by icons like Princess Diana. If you marketed this with the story of your mother's whirlwind Beverly Hills romance, it could really capture attention. The guest laughed. Maybe I should contact the Real Housewives. They'd go crazy over this. A surprise twist. Just as the segment seemed to wrap up, the guest revealed a surprising detail. You know, I actually brought something else today. My mother had a matching bracelet, same emerald-cut diamonds, same platinum setting. It was a wedding gift from Denny, but she rarely wore it. Caitlin's eyes lit up. A bracelet? May I see it? The guest reached into her bag and pulled out a velvet box. Inside lay a dazzling diamond bracelet, its geometric design unmistakably Van Cleef and Arpels. Caitlin carefully examined it, her excitement palpable. This is extraordinary. The craftsmanship is identical to the ring, likely part of a suite. Do you have the paperwork for this as well? The guest nodded. It's all in the same folder. My mother kept everything. Caitlin took a deep breath. I'd need to do a full appraisal, but if this bracelet is what I think it is, we could be looking at another $60,000 to $80,000. The audience gasped as the guest swayed slightly, gripping the table for support.